What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a monthly manifestation for the sign of Aries. Okay, Aries, you guys are last but not least for the zodiac lineup for group 3. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So, take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay, so kind of getting you guys out of the way first, since you guys had a lot of preliminary readings, I believe, during March, and so kind of starting you guys while also trying to get back to group 2 to do preliminary readings for them, but also trying to get everybody done for their monthly manifestations. So, a little bit behind schedule. I usually like to get everything done as far as for these before the new moon. But a lot of energy has been going around. The collective feels very centered right now, based off of the energy of last month. And then coming into this month, being very supercharged by the solar eclipse being on the same day as the new moon. Okay, so that's, is kind of part of the energy of the total eclipse. Okay, so we'll touch on, kind of where your energy probably is after the 8th, going into the first quarter moon of April on the 15th. Okay, so new moon energy, as you know, is based upon creating new ideas, starting new goals, new intuitions. The 15th of this month is the first quarter moon, which means that is your progress point of if you've really made any progress towards what it is you're trying to obtain. And then the full moon is on the 23rd, which is all about completion phase, in the sense of maybe a phase of your life is over, and or changing for the better good. For some of you, it could be a shift that's more so in irritation, based off of maybe past energy, or kind of pairing with Aquarius, which is before you guys. So you may be piggybacking off of their energy like you always do, but that's only for some of you. Okay, if you have these readings are for Sun, Moon, Rising, and occasionally Venus. Some days I will say Venus for these, and other days I won't. It just all depends on what divine is energetically informing me of when I get ready to do these readings. Okay, so those are your dates. Okay, just, kind of check and peer in on your energy a little bit as need be, in the sense of if this resonates with you at all. It could resonate at a later time, but these are timeless readings and they're here for your enjoyment when you need it. Okay, now for the month of April, it is about, again, that new moon energy compels us to follow our intuition and to change position that promotes balance. Okay, so there's some form of balance that really needs to happen, based off of that energy. Okay, and for the next, or from last week going into this week, you may be going through a lot of more so an awakening in a way, to things that maybe you didn't really pay that much attention to in the past. Okay, you can consider it kind of growing pains. Kind of touched on this a little bit between yourself and Aquarius, like last year or last 2 years, really. Okay, but more so within the last year. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the reading now, where we're going to focus on these 3 phases of the moon as far as the energy that is surrounding them. Okay, so Aries, if there is something in particular that you are thinking of, that you are aiming for, kind of ask yourself, the questions for yourself of where that is going to lead you to, okay? And hopefully within the moon phases that we check the energy on, and the clarifiers should give you some perspective, okay? So did a cut of 3 there now after 3 shuffles. If you're new here, each moon phase comes with its own question that I have formulated in this reading. These readings, Divine pretty much told me it was time to bring these back. Before, it was just collective energy. And so now it is full-blown by sign, okay? So one from the top was for the new moon energy. The one from the bottom is for first quarter moon energy on the 15th. And then one energetically from the middle, which there's a lot of energy here, but I'm going to go for this one here for your full moon energy, okay? So let's see what you got going on, Aries, okay? So for the new moon, what should be the mindset towards your tuition, your intention or goal, okay? What should be your mindset, okay? Obviously to follow your intuition, but it says it's time to take action with your sign coming up, okay? So you are definitely strongly up in here. Again, either sun, moon, rising, or someone with Aries in their Venus, okay? It is time to take action on whatever it is you are trying to achieve, okay? Whatever your goal is, all right? Basically, maybe you've done enough contemplating on a situation, Aries, in particular, that does not really require a lot, okay? It's now time to take action on something, even if taking action means speaking up, okay? Now, let's get into the first quarter moon energy. Will or have you made any progress by the first quarter moon, which is the 15th, which is coming out tomorrow? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to directly have things close to finish, but you should be in some form of progress, okay? Let's see what you have, Aries. And speaking up more, look at what came out. Communication is key, okay? Communication is key, I believe came out also for, I think, Sagittarius or Pisces, okay? And so you will have, and possibly in the same place, okay? So you do have, however, though, Gemini energy here, okay? So the same I will say for others is, of course, if you are going to be communicating, make sure that you have facts, make sure you have your ducks in a row, and understand and actively listen as far as whoever you're kind of communicating with, okay? Don't be quick to react or respond. Kind of give the other person time to kind of speak, okay? When it comes to your communication being key, okay? So just be mindful of that. You, again, kind of have your information all together as well. That's something I just feel like suggesting to people most of the time. Because when it comes to communication, if you're not good at it or you're not comfortable with it, then the best thing for you to do is always have your information available that you think someone may ask you, okay? And so if you have that, you're already prepped for that potential question, okay? I myself kind of sometimes do it just with my shop, with like my Etsy shop, of what are the main things that people want to know or want to see that really advertises my item to people, okay? And so, even though that's not, full on communication, it's nonverbal communication because people are visualizing what they see from me. Okay. Just the same as this. I don't get the chance to actually talk to you guys like one on one. These are collective readings, but I can, potentially anticipate what it is that you may ask or wonder. Okay. Also, dealing with being an empath. But nonetheless, that's getting too much into it. But just trying to give you a clear example of what it is that you may be dealing with or coming up on. Okay, Aries? So, with that being said, let's get into this future energy here for the full moon energy on the 23rd. Has or is the intention or goal being achieved? Okay. Aries, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay. The end to a tough cycle approaches. Okay. So, full moon in Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn energy here. You may have Capricorn in your birth chart, okay? If you are not familiar with what placements are in your birth chart, I really suggest that you go to the community post on my channel. And I do give the links to two birth charts that are free. Numbers.com seems real generic, but it is really a thorough birth chart, okay? And then the other is by Yasmin Bolin, who does this particular deck. And so you can go to hers, I believe. I hope you can still find it there. But the numbers.com is really thorough, and I really enjoyed that one. I did both of them only to see if they would match, and they did. With the exception of Yasmin Bolin's only showing like maybe one or two less placements than the numbers.com. Okay. And so, as far as it's a very insightful, when it comes to your birth chart, if you really are interested in it. Now, the end of a tough cycle approaches is kind of, I think, geared towards whatever you may go through between the 15th into the 23rd. Like I said, for some of you, it may just be something in regards to personal growth that kind of weighs heavy on you a little bit, that makes it a tough cycle come the full moon or possibly the end of the month. Okay. Again, some realizations coming to folks. I know I've definitely been dealing with it. And so the only thing that you can do is kind of ride the wave. Write things down. Don't really speak on it if you're not really able to transcribe without getting too emotional about it. People have to understand triggers. And so for you, it's best for you to kind of write it out and determine, what to do with that information. If it leads to you needing to write questions down that you want to ask someone, then do so, okay? But only do it once you've kind of looked at the situation thoroughly, okay? And not so much from an emotional standpoint, okay? So let's get into clarifying this energy for you guys, Aries. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. To start, we do have the Eight of Cups and the Star, okay? Here's Aquarius showing up in your reading, and then Eight of Cups energy, which is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Now, the Star, as you can see, these two are really actually opposing each other, okay? Someone is trying to heal, another person is like, screw this, I don't have time for this, okay? Now, that could be you, Aries, in the sense of feeling like you have better things to do than trying to solve problems or, maybe find some common ground with someone. And so healing is really not at the top of your list, especially if you're only seeing things one-sided, okay? So kind of be mindful to that and just be, you know, a little bit conscientious of your words and how you say them, or pretty much how you say them, and your tone, okay? Um, Healing is still here with the Star and then the Queen of Wands, okay? So, someone possibly, hopefully, wanting to either apologize, or someone's going to have to. Fire energy with this Queen of Wands being here, okay? This Queen of Wands is holding a sunflower while also holding a wand, okay, or a staff, okay? So there is some compassion, okay, but also willing to give some kind of enlightenment while being very passionate on how you feel, okay? You are a fire sign, so your energy is somewhere here, okay? Last shuffle before we cut the deck, or actually coming up on the last shuffle. Star card still here with the Nine of Swords, okay? Obviously, we have the Star card. This Nine of Swords is facing it, okay, towards it. Kind of up in your head about, you know, what should be said if it feels like you have to apologize for something, because maybe someone took something that you said too much to heart, too literal. And maybe you didn't mean it literally, but again, your tone can come off as differently than what you were trying to interpret to someone, okay? And so now you're kind of in your head, especially if someone is acting a little bit differently after what you said, okay? So it's best to just be kind of open about the situation, Aries, and be anticipating or, you know, respectful of the fact that someone may or may not want to hear what you have to say, okay, or may be on guard when talking to you, okay? Now let's go ahead and get into the clarifiers here. One from the top is for new moon energy. One from the bottom is for first quarter moon energy on the 15th. And then one energetically from the middle wanted to make sure that that was the right one. The last one from the middle is for the full moon energy. We'll look on the bottom of the deck momentarily to see what the potential outcome of this energy is, okay? So to start, new moon energy, it's time to take action, is being paired with the strength card, okay? Now, strength is Leo energy. However, I don't really, which is your, you know, one of your co-fire signs, but I feel as though it's not so much about strength, but more so courage, okay? To take action, especially if it's a situation of taking accountability that you may have came on too strong on something, and openly admitting that to someone, okay? It's best to just come out and say it, and again, come compassionately, but courage in the sense of not only making the first attempt to take action, but to also deal with whatever the consequences or repercussions are, okay? Based off of, because other people are people too, Aries, and so just as much as you like for people or feel that you should be respected by people, you can only earn respect, okay? Respect is not automatically given, okay? We need to stop thinking that it is, because someone can blatantly disrespect you right now and you would be done with them, okay? Let's just be honest, okay? So that is where you are for new moon energy. Now let's get into the first quarter moon energy of communication is key, is being clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. Now this may be for a different set of Aries, okay? Again, take what resonates and pass the rest. This Knight of Pentacles is trying to make an offer of something of value, okay? So communication is key. So some of you may, like I said before, need to listen thoroughly before you respond to something, or before you move too quickly. Like, I'm getting this feeling of someone maybe hearing, maybe let's say about a good deal, and you're willing to make an offer, but you are moving too quickly before you listen to the whole thing, okay? That's not for everyone. That's like for a few, like 2 or 3 in the Aries collective, okay? For others of you, it's some valuable information that could be resourceful to you, but make sure again that you are listening clearly and asking the right questions if something is not clear to you, okay? Um, Someone may be offering you just a small compensation or investment of some sort, or you may take it as such, as an investment, but it's really, I don't know if it's like a donation in a way of some sort. For some of you, it's monetary, okay? But again, make sure communication is very clear. Because I don't know why, it's like I feel a situation of maybe you take something, again, like we talked about in the main spread here on the main line, in regards to taking something the wrong way, possibly, in the sense of what someone's giving you money for, and maybe you end up using it for something else other than what you really needed it for, or what it was meant to be for. Now, if it's a like family friend type situation, some people feel like once you give somebody money as a gift, they can do whatever they want with it. You can't give someone money and anticipate that they're supposed to do what you want them to do with it, or they to you. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Now, it's something different if someone says, oh, hey, I need $20 because I need to put gas in my tank, but then 2 days later you see them partying at a club and you wondering if they used your $20. Now, somehow, I feel like this is like past energy on someone, and I feel like we talked about it in a reading before, but I don't think it was y'all's. I think it was someone else's, another reading, okay, that I did. So, but I can't remember what sign it was, but it feels vaguely familiar in regards to that situation. It might have been an ancestor read. That's as close as I can get to it, okay? But nonetheless, a lot of different and multiple energies coming in on this first quarter moon, okay? And so that could give a clear sign of what you may be going through between the 15th into the full moon energy, okay? A lot of hearsay, okay? So you may have to keep up with the communications that you have with a bunch of people, okay? Now, let's see what's going on with this full moon energy with the end of a tough cycle approaches, okay? Indecisiveness with the Two of Swords, okay? You are going to feel indecisive. You do have this woman here who's holding 2 swords, air energy, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, okay? But blindfolded, okay? This is not 2 of Wands, okay, in the sense of a journey. I think it's in the sense or means of communication, okay? Now, someone may, and you may have a difficulty of trying to figure out who to believe in a situation and who to stop listening to, okay? You're going to have to use your other senses, okay, other than just your sight, okay, of what you see, okay? It's about what you feel internally and following your intuition, okay? What it is that you want does not always help in making a decision, okay? You can want to give people the benefit of the doubt, But unfortunately, people don't work like that sometimes. Okay. I try to do it a lot, and sometimes I ended up, kind of stumping my own foot in doing that. Okay. And so unfortunately, things had to be done where you have to be willing to walk away from someone or certain people in order for you to have peace. Because at the end of the day, your peace is warranted and is valued, Aries. But if you're part of the problem, you're going to have to figure something out, okay? Is the best that I can tell you. All right. And I'm not shaming you and saying that you are part of the problem, but it could be more so geared towards someone in a placement or sun, moon, and rising. I think it's more so sun, moon, and rising what I'm feeling from divine. Okay. Now, Page of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. Okay. As far as the overall outcome of this energy. Okay. So, which is not surprising to me, only in the sense of it's going to be you, Aries, that's going to try and give some kind of offer of lightheartedness, of feelings, like I said, some form of an apology, or if not an apology, people like to, justify or clarify what was said, okay? And that's only if a third party was involved and maybe got your words mixed up and told the wrong thing to someone, okay? You guys are kind of mirroring, again, the energy is coming up, and I think only because of placements and birth charts, is that of which was like a couple of weeks ago with Leo, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, just to name a few. Okay, so I've named a couple of signs so far. Those are probably in your birth chart. Okay, so just understand that when you do watch tarot, your energy does travel potentially to your birth chart placements. Okay, and so depending on where those placements are in your life, in your birth chart, it affects your life in some kind of way that ends up, if it's not in this particular reading, it could end up going to, let's say, the Heart's Desire reading in a placement of yours. Okay, so just kind of be mindful of that. And so I'm not saying to, glue yourself to the channel in a sense. But there's plenty of messages throughout all of my readings. Okay. Now, I could easily, try to combat that and only do one reading, but what's the fun in that? Okay. So with that being said, let's get into the next question so we can kind of tie up your reading here a little bit. What is the message of support for Aries to achieve or manifest their goal? What is the message or messages of support for Aries to achieve or manifest their goal? If anything jumps out, I'll take it, but we will go ahead and stop once I feel energetically guided to do so. And then we'll cut the deck by 3 and we'll pull messages from the bottom, maybe about 2 to 3. Okay? For Aries. All right, I'm going to stop there. Nothing came out. All right, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck for you guys, Aries. And we have triple spiral to start. Triple spiral says, listen to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. I believe this came up in Pisces reading. Okay, so you could have a tie to Pisces in regards to a person, more so than in your birth chart. Okay, so it could be someone around you that has good wisdom. Or maybe it's a person that has Pisces in their 11th house, which is social groups and like global communication. And so they have the gift of gab, but it's more wisdom than anything. And so you're inclined to kind of listen to them, okay, when it comes to something in particular, okay? Thus, maybe around this first quarter moon energy, okay? So we're going to put that there. I'm feeling like 2 messages only here. Then the most popular, I win 3 rays of light. I win 3 rays of light, which says balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. Okay, that's what this month is to bring for you, or what you should try and accomplish. Okay, that is your second message, and that's going to do it for there. Or one more. I'm gonna go one more then. Okay, so I put I'll win there, and we're gonna go with sun. Last one. Okay, the sun, which says the golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. The golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. The sun brings enlightenment, okay? So also pulling from the sacral chakra and solar plexus, in the sense of whatever it is that will bring you fame and fortune is something that is imminent joy, and deals in creativity, okay? And so you really need, for a couple of you, need to tap into that energy, okay? So with that being said, I think that's it for the messages on messages of support. Let's now get into your present self, okay? The question that's being asked now is, what is the energy of the present self of Aries? What is the energy of the present self of Aries? 3 shuffles here before we cut, and we'll go to the bottom of the deck. Last shuffle. Okay. For Aries, the energy of your present self is Earth, home, okay? New energy alert, okay? First time this one has came out since restarting these readings. Feel free to subscribe or like and share, so that way you can be notified the next time I do a reading for your sign, okay? Number 15 equals out to 6, okay? 5 is meaning some form of change. 1 is talking about following that intuition, okay? We have this woman here, of course, earth energy. She has this headdress that is not only encased with fruit and maybe a tribal wrap, but also flowers that lead upon a hill, and kind of like the tree of Eden in a way, very fruitful, okay? She's kind of encased a little bit in her body, where it almost feels like this this aura of earthly energy is kind of surrounding her in this kind of like green dress that's flowing, okay? So I feel as though, you know, again, equaling out to 6 still means reevaluating the comforts that you seek, okay? This kind of almost reminds me of hearth and comfort, where it's like the baby with the dog, but it's time for you to really focus on what home is, in a way, or kind of a calling of home, okay? let's go into the book a little bit here. And home may be digging a little bit deeper than just your like your own personal sanctuary. It could be in regards to lineage or family, okay? Um, and how that kind of transcribes in your everyday life, okay? So we're going into the book here. And it says, take time to ground yourself. The earth is our home, and we are a part of nature, not apart from it. Do all you can to take positive custodianship of the world around you. Pay attention to your body in your home. Turn your eyes towards home. Avoid disconnection with devices and extreme busyness, okay? I've been getting on you guys a little bit too, Aries, every now and again. As more Pisces more so, but you guys are just as busy as them or just like right behind them, okay? And you need to listen to your body when it's telling you to rest, okay? Because how do you plan on getting anything done if you're not getting adequate enough sleep or recharging yourself, okay? It says here, there is an awareness of a wise mother or father of earth energy that is profoundly comforting. Someone cooking you a nourishing meal when you are down, doing the gardening, spending time outdoors, building your own shelter, all give you a big dose of earth energy, okay? So it's something about getting that comfort of home again, okay? Maybe, again, if you are without one of your mother or father, and let's say they cook, if there's something in particular, I know I do it all the time, where I may crave something that my mom is not, not close by to me. But sometimes I get taste for things that, we ate when I was growing up that she used to fix. And so sometimes I'll go ahead and I'll fix it myself, because I can't go and see her to get it. So, maybe that's something that you do if you haven't been around your dad in a while. Maybe go and check on him and kind of just reconnect, in the sense of, again, I feel this strong need of lineage, okay, which again is possibly spending more time with immediate family, okay, which is very grounding when you need it. Now, for some of you, when you do it, it could be or cause more irritation than pleasantries, okay? But if that is the case, then stay far away from them, okay? I'm sorry. Excuse me. I kind of like hiccuped in the same breath. So if that is not feasible, I am not trying to get y'all triggered, okay? If you need to stay away because there's family drama going on, then do so for your own your own mental health and for their physical safety, okay? For some reason I kind of feel that energy, so I am not trying to get nobody in no family squabbles, okay? But do what you will, maybe feed upon maybe good times, maybe when things were not so tumultuous between you and your family, and kind of pull off of those examples that I gave you of just cooking something in remembrance of when good times were good, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your higher self. Aries, I'm not laughing at y'all's circumstance, but it's a little bit funny. Now, what is the potential energy for Aries' higher self? Okay, I'm going to get into your higher self so we can wrap up your reading, Aries. Every one of you guys in group 3 has hit at least 40 minutes on the reading. So you guys probably definitely, I was already planning to do these, but they were definitely needed possibly for group 3 the most. I'll see what happens when I get to the other groups to kind of compare. But whenever I normally was starting off doing these or trying to aim for at least 35 minutes tops, but when the energy calls for some deeper messages, then that's what happens, okay? So I truly appreciate everyone's patronage and rocking with me to the end, all right? So your higher self right now is with the law of time, okay? The potential energy of your higher self, the law of time. Two new cards that have came out when it comes to the oracles, okay? So you have the ability to bend time with the power of perception. You have the ability to bend time with the power of perception, okay? So we have this city and kind of like the moon in between, almost like an eclipse is happening with the city kind of upside down, okay? And I'm gonna just hold that close again so you can kind of see it, okay? But that is a beautiful, like, mind-bending message, is you have the ability to bend time with the power of perception. It's all about what you see, and it is going to have you kind of going back in time a little bit in regards to reminiscing on things, okay? And maybe in a sense of short-term memory, okay? Like what happened last week that led to actions of now, okay? And how to kind of go back, and not in the sense of covering yourself, but just, again, like I said, some form of understanding, because there obviously was a misunderstanding, okay? So the law of time, we're going to go into the book here, which is on page 29, which equals out to 11, and that hits on intuition again, in the sense of focusing on what it is that you want and what you don't want, okay? Now, for some of you, I feel this energy of you may not even want to say anything, because if that means that person will leave you alone, then so be it. But if you care to not be seen in a way, or your, reputation being tarnished or something, it, whatever the case may be, you'll want to clarify it, okay, for some of you, okay? Now, with this card, it says, upon pulling it, you are deemed the anointed one. It is up to you to make the declaration of who you desire to be and what you desire to experience in this lifetime. Remember, this is not a dress rehearsal. Make the most of every moment. This is the universe asking for your order. Rise to the occasion and become the person you have always desired to be, okay? Between this indecisiveness and communication being key, and strength in time of action, okay? If I'm looking at the spread and really resonating these additional messages to this card, that is what I would pull from this for the strongest of the Aries collective, okay? Which would probably be Sun, okay? And Moon, okay? I say Sun and Moon placements of Aries, okay? Every time you notice yourself not being present, take 10 deep and slow breaths and journal about what you experience, okay? Take 10 deep and slow breaths, and I want you to do inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth when you do that, okay? Inhale positive energy, exhale negative energy. That means negative thoughts, negative words, anything that puts you in this Two of Swords indecisive energy, or anything that is of, not serving you, okay? So, very beautiful card to receive along with this earth, okay? Don't be a false representation of yourself, Aries. That is not who you are, okay? Even if you do it momentarily, you will want to fix it immediately, okay? So, with that being said, that is all that I have for you guys today. Preliminary readings for you guys will come, I'm going to just say eventually, because these are taking priority. But other than that, hopefully you can kind of backtrack, check on some previous energy. And until then, peace.